Next time you come across an article by a columnist or political commentator, for example in one of your nation's gauche major newspapers or in some monthly highbrow magazine, and come across it you will, and the implicit or explicit message is once again that one of the following things is problematic: masculinity, men, dominance, the distinction man-woman, biological differences between men and women, biological determinism, biology, evolution, facts, the Enlightenment, the West, Western civilization, science, male scientists, objectivity, or the notion of it, competence, or the notion thereof, intelligence differences, the existence thereof, superiority, or the notion of it, inferiority, or the notion of it, prosperity, relative, success, hierarchies, white people, America, Europe, conservatism, conservatives, conservative parties, Republicans, liberalism, capitalism, elitism, freedom of speech, freedom of satire, romance, beauty standards, competitiveness, heterosexuality, housewives, motherhood, desire for children, reproduction. Then do yourself a favor and Google the photo of the columnist in question and ask yourself, and be honest now, your first primal, unadulterated, visceral reflex only: is he or she fuckable? Yes or no? Yay or nay? This may seem at first glance an extremely low, primitive, and reprehensible suggestion, exactly the kind of toxic masculine bullying behavior that such columnists like to oppose. Yet it is the question that leads directly to the essence. The rhetorical question, often they are indeed particularly unattractive, can be translated to: why does author find it important to problematize, criminalize, and disrupt precisely those, the point, envied, structures and realities to which he/she has no chance of participating? If no one feels the inclination to sleep with you, if no one feels the inclination to admire you, to chase you, if no one feels the inclination to love you, just because you've had catastrophic luck with the genetic lottery, a completely cruel, completely biological, completely unchangeable, and indeed, completely unfair fact. Everything in life is about sex except sex. Sex is about power. And no resentment is as potent as the sexual resentment of the genetic underclass. Every other conceivable market in this life is subject to, and serves, the sexual marketplace. In simple terms, can't you compete in the romantic sexual marketplace? Then you have little choice but to sabotage that marketplace. If you absolutely cannot succeed, you can at least do your utmost to prevent others from succeeding or enjoying their success undisturbed. If you can't win, no one can win. How can you be so cruel, nature? So arbitrary, so unfair? How can such trivialities as the shapes of my flesh, the symmetry of my face, or the scent of my pheromones weigh against my character, my intellectual abilities, my good intentions, and my simple, modest request for what? Love? In short, if you belong to the regrettable cast of the unfuckables, then the fairy tale of the attractive, competent couple who complete a prosperous and relatively happy life with attractive and competent children is simply not in the cards. Then you go through life love-starved, sex-starved, and awe-starved, something you can't do anything about, something that is extremely unfair, and something you will be completely unable to change. Then you're going to hate nature in all its manifestations. Then you will, unconsciously, hate every archetypal symbol that stands for free competence. The self-evidence of someone else's happiness, that organic gender polarity, all symbols, up to beauty, truth, or your own living environment. Then everything becomes problematic. Every success of the other, every established order must then burn in chaotic anarchy. Because perhaps then, in that disruption, in that anarchy, you might still have a chance to score some kind of crazy ideological victory. It is these columnists, those who accuse conservatives, liberals, provincials, Republicans, populists, frat boys, housewives, tradwives, heteronormatives, and the white man, with the repetitiveness of a broken record, of being hateful, to act out of hatred. This is a misinterpretation and a misrepresentation. The accused parties do not hate. They are afflicted with a natural, cruel indifference regarding the fate of the losers. They themselves, these media-mobilized unfuckables, are the ones who are truly moved by hate in the literal sense of the word, the seething, irritable, envious intensity with which they scrutinize the naturally established other with problematizing, squinting eyes. The competent man, the attractive woman, who just gets what he or she wants, without personality-altering compromises, so toxic, so problematic, how they are just carefree, okay. So hateful, how the mother eagle rejects the defective chick. So immoral, how the lion oppresses the gazelle. The conservative fairy tale is indeed exclusive. To be or not to be, that is the question.